Meeting to order and ask you to please rise for the invocation, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Is Deacon Francis Zeman in the audience? I don't see him. Okay, I'm going to ask Councilmember Kevin Boone to lead us in our invocation tonight.
All right, let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much for the blessings you've bestowed upon this city. We thank you for all you've done. We thank you for this town, this government, the people that are in it. Lord, we thank you for all that they've done. Bless this council, Lord, as we go through the decision-making process here tonight, and make us have the decisions based on your knowledge and what you'd have us to do, Lord. Lead, guide, and direct us in all that we do, and bless us in everything that we do. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Boone. Mayor Wilson, your report, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's approve some minutes. We need to approve the minutes from the regular city council meeting, the work session, and the agenda meeting, which were held on January the 13th. Do you have any changes, additions, deletions to those minutes? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, Mayor Wilson, now your report, please.
Thank you, Council President. I want to remind everybody that our State of the City will be held here at the Civic Center on Thursday, February 6th from 5 to 7, and the entire family is welcome to come. We're going to be cooking hot dogs, Kaneka dogs, and refreshments, and each department will be there. They're there to interact with everybody who comes out to talk about what their department does, the successes we've had in the last few years, and what's going to be unfolding in the near future. So we really want you to come out. It's been very exciting putting this together. Some updates from our supervisors. The gas department will be conducting their annual leak survey in February, going door to door and counting meters. The crews will be wearing their Fairhope gear, so they're easily identifiable. Just want to make sure that citizens are aware that that will be happening very soon. The pier camera has been out momentarily, and we have gotten some calls about that, but a new camera has been ordered and will be installed this week. We are celebrating Arbor Day on February 8th. Once again, Public Works will be giving away 1,000 trees and seedlings, and 8 to 12 specialty trees will be raffled off. The event runs from 10 to noon on the Coastal Alabama College campus. Our new smart crosswalks will be completed on or by Valentine's Day, February 14th. It has taken some time to accomplish these, and we appreciate citizens' patience on this. Once they're installed, this is really going to make these two pedestrian walkways a lot safer. And this is probably one of our most dangerous walkways. Planning Department has been advised that a new 16-unit apartment complex is being planned for the corner of Thompson Hall and Twin Beach Roads, the northeast corner. I want our citizens to know that this is unzoned county property made up of almost 2 acres. As such, we have no control over what happens with this property, except that we will be able to enforce green space, which will affect how many units can be built. One of our valued employees in Parks and Recs recently had a stroke. Dale Bowman, who oversees Founders Park, is in rehab now and wants to get back to work as soon as possible. Please keep Dale in your thoughts and prayers. Pat White, our Parks and Rec Director, is starting a new youth sports scholarship program that will reach out to the disadvantaged kids in Fairhope to leave no child out of our active sports programs. Children can choose any sport they want to participate in. The Kiwanis Club has donated $1,000 to help cover registration fees and equipment. This is an exciting new program, and we are looking forward to developing it into a major effort to keep our kids active and healthy. The Fairhope Storm, our semi-pro football team, will have their first game on Saturday, February 29th. Mark your calendars and come out. It'll be a Saturday at our football stadium. The bulkhead work at Fairhope Docks is moving along successfully. G-Dock and the jetty are completed. Our covered slips are almost completed with new docks, fingers, piers, and an enlarged hangout starting soon, followed by electrical hookup and at G and A dock. Lots of stuff going on down there. I'd like to present a proclamation for the Big Brother and Big Sister of South Alabama. And I wanted to see if Amy Reiser was here. Awesome.
Amy couldn't be here, but I'm Catherine.
Okay, Catherine, come on out. It's National Mentoring Month, and as mayor, I want to give this proclamation to you and just an appreciation for everything that you do. And you're also, this is for Big Brother, Big Sister of South Alabama, correct? Whereas our community has a number of individuals who support the mentoring movement and work selflessly to improve our children's lives.
Give it a shot.
Whereas we
Let's
would
see Stephen.
like to show appreciation for these individuals and encourage other citizens of Fairhope to become mentors. Whereas mentors are an important part of the mentoring movement, where research has shown that children engaged in one-on-one professional supportive mentoring programs are more likely to finish high school and less likely to begin using drugs or drop out of school. Whereas January has been designated as National Mentoring Month, where American citizens are called upon to recognize the importance of mentoring, to look for opportunities to serve as mentors in their communities. Now, therefore, I, Karen Wilson, as Mayor of the City of Fairhope, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2020 as Mentoring Month in the City of Fairhope. Thank you so much. There was one more proclamation signed a little over a week ago, and it was mailed to the Human Trafficking Month, for Human Trafficking Month, to the Alabama Human Trafficking Task Force in Huntsville, Alabama. It will be displayed along with other municipalities' proclamations recognizing the problem of human trafficking facing the world today at the upcoming summit on January 31st, 2020. And I did post this proclamation on Facebook. And lastly, I'd like to recognize one of our Fairhope's own, Kaylee Spears. She has been on the Pirate swim team since 7th grade. She set a goal for this season to make the podium at the state meet. She medaled second place in the 200 individual medley. She also anchored the second place girls 400 free relay, earned 3 medals at the state meet this year, and won 7A state championship in the 100-yard butterfly. So a big congratulations to her, and job well done. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson. Now we move on to public participation. If you would like to address the council concerning agenda items 3 through 18, I'll ask you to come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Keep in mind this is pertaining to only agenda items. If you would like to address the council on another matter, there would be a space at the end of tonight's meeting to address the council. So the floor is open.
Council members, my name is Mark Rochetko. I'm speaking on item number 3 tonight. final adoption of the zoning ordinance. I'm an adjacent property owner at 9727 Derby Lane, 3-acre parcel to the west of the proposed PUD. Thank you for all the effort that has been done so far. I appreciate that. Thank you for allowing the citizens to have their input and their opinions. Petitions have been made. I just don't think we're there yet.
I'm sorry. Do I need to repeat, or did you hear?
Good. We can hear you.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. I cannot endorse this plan with the current discrepancies in it. As our founder, Henry George, often said, all too soon the village becomes a town, and our cherished local color, individuality, and quaintness blend and tone down until little remains to distinguish us from our neighbors. Let this not happen in Fairhope. One last item brought to my attention. A proper power of attorney is not on file with the city concerning this matter. The power of attorney is limited to speaking to the county commission. Therefore, the application is incomplete. According to the city, this should not be placed on the agenda. I would encourage the city to verify this before a vote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There's a copy of the power of attorney.
Anyone else? Items 3 through 18. Okay, I will close public participation. We'll move on to council comments. Councilman Robinson?
Don't have any comment.
Councilman Conyers?
Only comment I have is there's a special call meeting for Historic Preservation Committee Tuesday, February 4th at 9:30 a.m. at the History Museum.
Okay. Councilman Brown?
No comment.
Councilman Boone?
Yeah, I've got one. I'd like to give a big atta girl to Paige Crawford for delivering twins to our fair city this past week. I think it's terrific, and wish her the best, and good luck to the little girls.
Very good. Okay, I don't have any comments tonight. We'll move right into the agenda with item number 5, which is a final adoption. This is an ordinance to amend zoning ordinance number 1253, request to rezone the property of the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation and Pauline Moyd from RA Residential Agricultural District to a planned unit development. The property is generally located at the southwest corner of the intersection of Bay Meadows Avenue and State Highway 181, and this is known as the Live Oaks Estates PUD. This is a parcel containing 37.961 acres, more or less, and this was introduced at the January the 13th, 2020 City Council meeting. Hunter?
Thank you, Councilman. This application we've heard a few times, so I'm going to go pretty quick, but if we need to, we can answer any other questions. This is an application to rezone 38 acres from RA to PUD, which is a planned unit development. The property is located at the southwest corner of Bay Meadows Avenue and State Highway 101. As you're aware, this was reduced from previous council meeting from 98 units to 76. The percentage of the green space remained approximately 33.66 acres is the residential component. The remaining 4.3 acres is reserved for future commercial parcel, which is B4, requesting B4 zoning, underlying zoning, and that will come back for a site plan review. The current density of that development is 2.25 units per acre. The location map shown here on the left and the aerial photo on the right of the subject property. The size of the residential lots meet the same size as R2 zone, or our current R2 zoning. And as you see at the bottom note there, this will be a standalone site plan review for the commercial parcel. There is no, other than B4, there's no other information for that parcel right now. Density is 2.25 units per acre. Green space is 22.8%, which is greater than required. And as we first noted, that's 76 from originally over 100, then down to 98, and now 76. This is the submitted site plan that will go along with the PUD and to be codified with that, so should the council so choose. I think that I'll leave that up for reference, and if y'all have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Councilman, questions for staff? Any comments? Okay.
I would ask the question just about the power of attorney. Is that part of what our rules
Catching me off
require?
guard, I'm not sure what that's in reference to.
I'm going to ask the city attorney to take a quick gander at that. Now, was that just an example of a power of attorney, or was that for the?
That's what's in the file. That's
Okay.
what's in the city's file.
Have you heard of this? Have we gone through this before?
This is new information to me, and I'm not even sure what that's relating to. Does the applicant have to submit power of attorney? What is this even relating to?
Gifford, are you familiar with any of that?
And council members, thank you for indulging me for just a moment. Occasionally, I believe possibly what we may be facing here is that the applicant's engineering firm is speaking on behalf of the applicant, because the applicant is the potential property developer. But as far as requiring that for a zoning change case, I don't think that is required. I'm going strictly by memory here. Of course, the applicant's representative is with us here tonight and probably answer questions about that. But from a procedural standpoint, have never had that question asked on a zoning change.
It's limited purposes for governmental review, so they're coming in representing the owners for review process. The owner's sometimes not able to handle all the technical questions. I would think that would be a wise move to allow Mullins or Freeland Homes Coastal to step in and do that for them.
And council members,
that makes the whole project null and void.
Yes, sir, Mr. McDowell. And when an application is brought to staff, there's an application form that the applicant creates, and that application indicates the owner of the property, or the potential owner of the property, or the developer of the property, and then whom is representing that developer. So I think that may be what it is here, in this case here.
There's no reason to believe that anybody's misrepresented of any part of the property, right?
We do not require, as an applicant coming in, we rarely see them presenting their own case. So what I can tell you is common for this to happen, and just kind of blindsided by this.
Right.
I'm not sure, there may be something we're missing there. This is a very common, most of the cases we see are handled by a representative, professional engineer, architect, along those lines.
Okay.
This issue did not come up through the planning commission process as well.
Councilman Robinson?
No, I mean, I'd never heard of that. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't something glaring that we were looking over. And obviously, if this is not something that you guys are familiar with as a requirement to even present the application, then I feel satisfied. And this doesn't specifically address the county commission. What it says is that the limited power of attorney is granted and is effective until the county has rendered a decision on this request. But, okay.
What decision would the county be making on this request?
That would not be a factor, Mr. Council President, because the existing property in its current state is fully within the city of Fairhope, zoned by the city of Fairhope. So all consideration comes through the planning commission in this body as the city council.
Any other questions for staff? Any other comments?
Mr. Council President, just to let you know, when someone comes,
Sorry, Eric.
To let you know, when someone presents, they will not be allowed to build anything until they provide us paperwork showing that they own it. We run into this a lot where folks come in. Typically, I see it on demolition of houses, and we have a lot of properties in town where there's question about ownership, a cousin owns it, or it's broken up amongst a trust. They can come in and make the application, or they can get approved for it, but we're not going to issue that permit for them to start anything, including the roads and utilities and the land disturbance, until we have proper paperwork showing that they actually own that property. So the application itself is done on behalf of the family by their consultant, but they're not going to get any permits to actually start building anything until they can prove clear ownership of the property. That's handled through the building department.
I don't believe we've even been through site plan review yet.
That's correct. And county, this may be an issue where final plating happens at the county, and maybe that's where that's mentioned. That's the final stage when the land's carved out and there's an appeal process. I don't have any problems moving this forward with a zoning change. I don't foresee anything.
I just wanted to make sure you knew our process. They're not going to be allowed to build anything until that's clear cut and we get that paperwork in with the application process for the building.
Any other questions or concerns, council? Okay, I'll entertain a motion for final adoption.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay,
Yeah.
hearing none. Clerk, pardon, did you have something?
I wasn't, yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
just briefly, I mean, I think this is a scenario where we've been through this several times now, and obviously, I think, I don't want to speak for everybody, I can speak for myself, but similar to what I discussed earlier, if I had the option to keep everything green space that was currently green space, I'd absolutely do it. But I think, that there are certain entitlements to properties and the way you can go about doing those. In this case, the property owner has made a lot of concessions to get it to a situation where it's much more acceptable in its current form. And so I appreciate that. I also appreciate the concerns of the people that live around it. But I think I am voting in favor of it tonight because I think that you have a right to do some of these things, and there's only so much control we should exercise. And I think the concessions you made have put it into a position that it's more acceptable for the surrounding area.
Any other comments? Okay, clerk, will you call the question?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2?
Aye.
Place 3?
Aye.
Place 4?
Aye.
Place 5?
Abstain.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 6 is final adoption. This is an ordinance to declare that certain real property at 105 farmable acres of the city of Fairhope is temporarily designated surplus and not needed for public or municipal purposes in response to an offer to lease property yearly from January 1 through December 31 for 1 year with 4 one-year options. This was introduced at the January the 13th, 2020 City Council meeting. Council, do you have any questions? I should be able to answer any of those in regards to this said property. I just want to remind everybody that, we're getting about double the rate that the county's getting, and we've got some maintenance items that they're going to take care of as well, so that our city staff doesn't have to maintain this property. And we do have a clause in there that gives us the ability to give them 180 days notice if we need to ask them to vacate a portion of the property for development into rec facilities or any other use that we may deem appropriate for that property. So I will ask for a motion for final adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, if you'll call the question.
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2?
Aye.
Place 3?
Aye.
Place 4?
Aye.
Place 5?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 7 is a final adoption of an ordinance to amend ordinance number 1567, known as the Fairhope Film Ordinance. This was introduced at the January the 13th, 2020 City Council meeting. Does anybody have any final questions for Ms. Walker? We went through this in great detail at last meeting's work session.
I make a motion, we approve as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for final adoption. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, do you call the question?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2?
Aye.
Place 3?
Aye.
Place 4?
Aye.
Place 5?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 8 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute a contract with Live Engineering Company to perform professional design and CEI engineering services for Oak Street at Section Street drainage improvements at Big Mouth Gully for the Public Works Department with a not-to-exceed amount of $15,595. And I will remind you, council, that Mr. Johnson gave us a very detailed brief on this. I believe the project cost in relation to these engineering services would be $100,000 to $110,000. Any questions for Mr. Johnson? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute the contract. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 9 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure a 2020 Vermeer LP 573 vacuum trailer for the electric department. The item is available for direct procurement through the Sourcewell Public Utility Contract, which has been nationally bid. Therefore, it does not have to be let out for bid. The total cost will be $55,744, and I believe this is a budgeted expense. I'll entertain a motion to purchase.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 10 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure a 2020 Vermeer RTX 550 tractor with the Felling FT16 trailer for the gas department. The item is available for direct procurement through the Sourcewell Public Utility Contract, which has been nationally bid and therefore does not have to be let out for bid. The total cost will be $145,058.60. Entertain a motion for the purchase.
So moved.
Second.
I have 2 motions and 2 seconds. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 11 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope approves the procurement of the Sauber 1506 self-loading trailer and the Sauber 1500 string reel dolly, or trailer, for the electric from the Truck Equipment Sales Incorporated with a total cost of $36,644. Again, a budgeted expense. I'll entertain a motion for this purchase.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 12 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure new scanning services for converting paper files to digital for the city clerk and the building department. These services are available for direct procurement through the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, which has been nationally bid through NCPA's bid process. Therefore, it does not have to be let out for bid, with a total cost for both departments of $35,861.87. I'll entertain a motion for the purchase.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Lisa, do you need that?
I definitely do.
Okay. We got to take care of our clerk. All right, hearing no further discussion, all in favor of the purchase, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay. Item 13 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure one Odyssey split system outdoor condensing unit for the Nick Center. The equipment is available for direct procurement through the U.S. Commodities Cooperative Contract, which has been nationally bid through its bid process. Therefore, it does not have to be let out for bid. It's an unbudgeted item with a cost of $7,077. Mr. Johnson did let us know in the work session that that had just been overlooked when budgeting for these items, and assured us that this will be the last piece of equipment we need for heating and air conditioning of the Nick Center, hopefully for some time. With that, I'll entertain a motion for the purchase.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 14 is a resolution that the City Council hereby agree to fund the additional overage cost for the project to install signalization of the intersection of Greeno and Old Battles Roads in the amount of $6,700. The total local match of $76,700 will be funded by the 7-cent gasoline tax. I'm a little confused. Richard, are we voting on 6,700 or 76,700?
And I may refer to Kim, but y'all committed to a $70,000 match to get this thing going. They opened the bid, it was over.
Oh, I see.
76 or 6,700. But
Yep.
Kim showed the other day, we weren't sure if it was identified where the funding was, so we
Okay.
made sure we did that.
Okay, so the new total 76.7.
Yep. When we
Okay.
went back and looked at the resolution, it was never identified a funding source. It was just, the resolution just stated that y'all would commit to the match.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you, Kim. All right, council, I'll entertain a motion to provide the overage cost.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 15 is an appointment to the Historic Preservation Committee.
Yes, Mara, I'm sorry, last name, Mara Hunter, and she was recommended by the Historic Preservation Committee. She's got a very lengthy resume, very impressive. She's got a doctorate in history and is a professor at South. So everyone on the Historic Preservation Committee was in favor of adding her.
Okay, so the appointment will be for a 3-year term. I will entertain a motion for the appointment.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, appointment is made. Thank you, council. Item 16 is an application for a restaurant liquor license by Bob Baumhauer for Wing Fingers Fairhope, doing business as Wing Fingers, located at 25 Greenrow Road South, Fairhope, Alabama. Officer Nolte, any reason to deny this application? I'm kind of like a shady character. I don't know about all that. I'm kidding, of course. All right. Council, I'll entertain a motion to approve this application.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 17 is a request of Samantha Cooper, Vice President of the Junior Auxiliary of the Eastern Shore, requesting permission to hold the St. Patrick's Day Leprechaun Ride on Sunday, March 15th, 2020, with road closure at 2:30 p.m. for the parade to begin at 3:30. The request is for the street closures with the route attached and the use of barricades. Law enforcement will be hired for the ride. Ms. Walker, this doesn't interfere with any of the filming, right? I believe that ends on March 13th, maybe? Okay.
No, it's on the 15th, but it's in a separate area. And it's supposed to end at 2, and this is,
Well, there's going to be some staging. Where is that, real quick? Jay, where's that route?
I'm looking at it right here.
She does 11 too.
Okay, so yes, in light of the new stuff, this is going to be a problem.
Pardon me? Can you say that
Yeah,
again?
I was concerned that this may be a little bit of a problem in light of the changes that the film crew has. I don't have my packet in front of me, but Shane does, so that's really helpful.
So are you recommending we do not approve this?
No, that is not what I'm recommending. I mean, they got their stuff in first. The changes that Brandon has made have come in, and they're not something that we've approved. So obviously, this has done the work that they need to do for their parade. What we can do is go back to Brandon and the production team and explain to them that there is a special event they got their stuff in the way they were supposed to, in the right order of time, and see if they could make any changes needed to their schedule again.
But if the film is set to, if I remember the sheet right, it's at Morphean section.
It's at Morphean section, but this goes Morphean section.
This says Bancroft,
Yeah.
De La Mar, Morphe, Equality Section, Magnolia, Fairhope, and Church.
Okay, yeah, well, then that's obviously.
You think
This
we
is a
can make it
pretty
work?
extensive, route for that. Let me see if we can rework, and we've got information coming to you from Brandon this week anyway, so we'll just add another little thing for him to adjust to with that, because it looks like he told us on the 15th it would be 7 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. For filming, so filming will probably have to be compressed into about 11 or noon.
Yeah, let me go back and look at those notes from the work session. On the 15th, yeah, 7 to 4. He said 3 or 4, so I'm going to go with 4.
We'll go with 4, yeah.
At Fairhope and Section.
It's actually Morphean section.
I'm sorry.
Morphe.
Yeah, I wrote it on Morphean section. Thank you for that clarification. And I believe that is one of their biggest shots as well.
Yeah, I think it is too. So as I get the information to you that was requested this week, we'll see what he can do to adjust that as well.
I see an opportunity here. This is the Leprechaun ride, and they're kind of small, and it's called Tiny Perfect Things, the movie, so maybe there's an opportunity.
Leprechauns are tiny and perfect, so it could work out really well.
I like
It's
it.
true. So, I mean, my recommendation is that you do approve this. They did what they were supposed to do.
Council, also take a look at the letter that you have in your package from Chief of Police, and it does, she makes the recommendation that the Leprechaun ride be contingent on no motorized vehicles or golf carts be permitted. It was introduced as a bicycle ride only, and they don't allow cyclists to be mixed with powered carts for safety concerns, and also that the number of participants be limited to 500. So if someone wants to make a motion to approve the application, I think it's in the best interest to take the advice of our police department and put in those contingencies. Somebody like to entertain a motion?
I'd make
So
a motion.
moved.
Does that motion
With the-
include the contingencies?
With the police
Yes.
chief's contingency.
Okay, we have a
Subject
motion
to
with the contingencies
second.
offered by the chief. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the request, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. It's going to be a happening day that day. All right, item 18 is request from Casey Calloway, a Mobile Baykeeper, requesting permission to block the streets and use the park on the south end of the pier, the North Beach Road, the Bayfront Park, or the pier and the fountain area for the 2020 Publix Grand Man Triathlon on May 30th of 2020. On May 29th, close the Rose Garden no later than 5 p.m. And on May 30th, close the road entering North Bayfront Park from 5 a.m. until the last racer finishes. The use of barricades and permission to serve beer on South Beach Park with all appropriate security after the race, and also requesting permission to block the streets, North Mobile Street and North Beach Road. Use the park on the south end of the pier and use of the barricades for the Jubilee Kids Triathlon on May 31st, 2020 from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. On May 30th, close the Rose Garden no later than 7 p.m. And on May 31st, close the road entering North Bayfront Park from 6:30 a.m. until the last racer finishes. I want to commend you, Lisa, for getting all that verbiage in there. They do have a package that they are also paying for the security. We do have an ordinance preventing the waiver of that, so appreciate them allowing us to enforce that. So with that, Officer Nolte, any reason to deny this application?
No, so this is pretty much the same way they do it.
Okay, all right. Council, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the request. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, public participation. If you have anything else to bring forth before the council, if you'll come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no one, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.